We gave them the title Wrecking Crew, so it's technically a superhero and supervillain fight. Because here's the thing, like, this show is juggling a lot of tones. It's juggling the comedic tone of this episode. It's juggling the serious tones of episode 8 and what was
the end of episode 8, mainly in serious tone, because the beginning and the middle were just pretty lighthearted.
And then what's another like super serious element of the show? Not episode 7, because episode 7 was more like. I feel like episode 7.
I feel like the only serious thing was when
maybe episode 2 when it the
abomination escaping.
Yeah,
but that was very quickly like
and more like
but I feel like that was intentionally set up to be serious for in-universe sake, but out-of-universe we know it has to be funny because we know why it happened.
Oh, to be fair, that was the episode that I thought wasn't funny at all. To be fair.
Yeah, but that one was also meant to be
yeah, like, oh man, now that now that I think about it, man, this show really does improve in the the later half.
It really did get better with every episode.
Because remember all the complaining I did in the first half of the series? It's just, oh, this show is not funny, which it's not. The show
was not. It's funnier now.
It's funnier now.
Yeah.
Like, but let's just face it, my criticisms of the first 4 episodes, still the same as before. The show's not funny, but now
we're in the last 5 episodes, and they've really picked it up.
They've picked it up, but now, like, it's not super consistent. Like, what each episode attempts to do, they're good at. But it's like whiplash between each episode.
Well, actually, so, you've mentioned that, but, I actually read the synopsis for the next episode, and
I hate when you do this. I hate when you bring spoilers into our discussion.
I'm not going to say it, but I will say that may have actually all been done on purpose. Like, I shit you not, they may have actually made the show slightly shitty in the beginning on purpose. If it's true, that is some Megamind shit right there.
I see what you're implying.
That is some Megamind shit! If they were like, we're actually going to tank the quality of the beginning. Because, like, from what I've heard, that actually sounds... Unironically, that would make the show retroactively fucking hilarious.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this conversation, crumble it up into a little ball, take all those spoilers you've handed me, and throw them out the trash. I did not hear a single word.
Well, I didn't give you any specifics. I'm just saying that intentionally the show may have tanked.
You know how my brain works. You know I'm smarter than the average bear.
Well, I'm just gonna say this. You're definitely not going to... No.
Because they wrote that character to be bad on purpose.
No, she was well written. She was well written. The reason why I give it a 5 is just because in the grand scheme of the show, I felt it was one of the more forgettable moments compared to literally everything else.
I mean, if we're talking about that was kind of the point of the
I know, but see, well, then maybe I won't give it a 5. I'll give it high. I'll give it about a 6.
I will say, because the show is funny.
It's funny, and now that you did bring it up, that episode was meant to be purposefully forgotten. See, this is what I mean when I'm saying I legitimately think they are tanking on purpose. Because okay, we'll give it a 6.
I'm giving it a 6 because I thought it was genuinely funny.
It was funny. I did think it was funny. I thought the fight between She-Hulk and Titania was funny.
But we can't actually finish discussion because we got to bring up what begins from this episode onwards is the main plot, which is introduction of Josh.
Josh, and by extension, Intelligentsia.
But let's go in only with what we know from episode 6. He has good chemistry with Jen. He seems like a genuinely good guy.
He's attractive.
Yeah, and let's face it, after the multiple failures of, let's face it, she said it herself, dating in your 30s sucks. Hell, dating in your 20s sucks.
Dating sucks in general. We had a whole segment about it.
Dating as adults sucks.
You thought dating as a high schooler was easy? Well, actually, you had more girlfriends in high school than me, so never mind.
To be fair, I did have a very idyllic...
when we were in high school, Sovereign had the bitches. But once we turned adult, I got the bitches.
Correction, you got the bitches. I finally got my bitch.
You better hope she doesn't fucking hear that.
Oh,
you better hope she doesn't fucking watch this.
Oh, come on. She'll love it. She has a dark sense of humor like me.
If we really want to go dark sense of humor, we can bring up when we first met her. But yes, dating sucks. So meeting someone like Josh is quite literally getting the needle in a haystack. Or really, a hay in a needle stack.
And then we get to episode 7, which is... forgive me for forgetting.
That was the episode where she goes to visit Emil.
Yeah, but right before that... Oh, wait, no. When she sleeps with Josh is at the ending of episode 6, correct? Or is that in episode 7 still?
Wait.
It's the transition from 6 to 7. It's somewhere in there. We will say it is in that block.
Right? No. It is 7 because episode 6, that was when we saw them go on the first date, which was when we saw that Intelligentsia was spying on her. Then in episode 7, he starts with the ghosting. But then at the end of 7, as the wraparound, we see why he ghosted her, which was when we saw that he took the revenge porn.
Yeah. So pretty much episode 7, they go on a bunch of dates. They have a great time. They keep showing hints that they want to sleep together. It keeps getting pushed back and back and back until ultimately the both of them take the hint. And then Josh ghosts her.
Josh ghosts her, and she's pretty upset because, as we've talked about before on the podcast, ghosting sucks.
Yep.
Ghosting sucks. It's a very shitty feeling. Makes you feel like you've done something wrong, even when you've probably done nothing wrong. Or even if you did do something wrong, you have no idea what you did wrong. So it leaves you with this feeling that you can't improve. It leaves you with a lack of closure. It fucking sucks. So Jen really has to go through that. And so she has to, while she's feeling shitty, Emil Oblonsky's parole officer is scared shitless of him, so wants Jen to go with him to go check the ankle monitor because, well, your parolee destroyed Harlem. What the fuck are you gonna do, Fred?
So, yeah, pretty much this episode just serves as, like, because of the fact that it's at a retreat and she's going through, like, mental anguish, she doesn't like that she's ghosted. Pretty much we bring in a whole bunch of D-tier Marvel villains to give her therapy.
You said D-tier. We're talking Z-tier here. We're talking fucking Z-tier. You know it's Z-tier when the most iconic character that showed up, not named Abomination, was Wrecker from the fucking Wrecking Crew.
He's a recurring character. Name someone we introduced who actually has, like grandiose staying power.
The vampire.
True.
I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up in something Blade related. Especially with the advent
if anything, they're gonna do it
especially with the advent of Werewolf by Night, where we know, these things actually do exist.
If anything, probably gonna be in like a side gag in like a Midnight Suns
3 holiday special with Man Thing. He's gonna show up.
Oh, I can see it now.
Yeah, I think the vampire's the one. He's the one you gotta look out for, which is why his face is on all the fucking YouTube thumbnails. The one random vampire guy is in all the fucking YouTube thumbnails. But I really liked the Z-list characters. We had we also saw El Aguilar, who was actually canonically a mutant.
Really?
Yes. And so if this is part of Marvel's plot to just slowly introduce mutants into the MCU like they did with Kamala, this may actually be the 3rd mutant or 4th mutant if you really want to count Ursa Major as the number 1 mutant we met before Professor X. This will be our 4th mutant. El Aguilar. He's normally a mutant. It's not necessarily a prominent one, but he's been at the Xavier School. I believe he was part of not X-Men, but I think it was X Factor or X Force, one of the X teams. But yeah, and then we also got Man-Bull. Man-Bull, I don't believe is a mutant, but
no, he was a science experiment.
He's a science experiment. No, I'm talking about in the comics.
Oh, yeah.
I don't believe he was a mutant in the comics. I believe he was also a science experiment then. But, yeah, so we got El Aguilar, who is a mutant. We got Man-Bull. We got the vampire, We got the raccoon suit person who smells like dog shit. Was there anyone else?
And Wrecker.
And then there was Wrecker. And, I like how Jen broke the fourth wall and was like, we need a previously on this guy. And how she...
like, yeah. Now you're
Did you know that that's actually the differentiation between goon and henchman in the Webster Dictionary?
Really?
Yep. That's actually how it is in Webster's Dictionary. Henchmen believe in the cause, goons do not. That's their legitimate definitions.
Matt Murdock would know that difference.
Yeah. We'll get to that part. But yeah, he had a startlingly high level of emotional intelligence, as he was the one that was able to really help Jen get over Josh.
Yeah, because, and also, like, Jen allows herself to be vulnerable because she has no idea that there's some grand scheme associated with him going on behind in the background.
Yeah, but also she's allowed to be vulnerable around a group of people like her. Like, mind you, Wrecker gets his power from an Asgardian crowbar, but...
And you know they didn't alter that from the comics because he literally says...
Like, yeah, we stole it from an Asgardian. But... they're people like her. They're superheroes. Superhumans. Yeah. They're superhumans that have human issues, but no one's gonna give those issues a time of day because everyone focuses on the super part of them.
Yeah.
And so...
And her emotional moment was actually super gratifying.
I will say that the optics of man that tried to violently attack woman is responsible for the emotional reconciliation of said woman later on. Somewhat problematic for what this show is about. I will say that was kind of a bit off-putting because, typically men that commit violent crimes against women will not be the same types of men that would give